Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Your Turn to Die. And we just saw what happened to the AI of Shin, and we were unable to actually use this to open up the elevators. I'm not sure if we have to go to like look at these different locations here, watch one of the videos. I don't know if I want to do that right now, especially in the situation we're in right now. Again, I have a save file right before the other victim videos, so we can watch it like maybe later on. But in the canon story right now, I'm kind of like, okay, let's focus on some other stuff here. It reads dead caller control system. This is the, we already opened this up as well, so maybe we just have to leave as well. So if we go to the elevators, the elevator will move. So maybe we just go around to different locations here and see what we can do. So we already came through here, right? That was the charging station. Should we check on him? Check on Kurumada. He's not doing good, so Lizzie, do something about the damn woman downstairs. Please stay put, Kurumada. I know, damn it. Yeah, great locations as well. So nothing here. Nothing there. I wonder if it's using the lantern in some ways, that kind of thing here. Like to make change the perspective of the room. Like maybe that will do something. The classroom was the last time we saw Midori. He's back again! He keeps like moving around the place. Do you need the consent form? Midori! What's wrong? Reiko, please calm down. I know, but look. I gotta ask him about the photo. Again, why wouldn't that be on our mind, you know? That would be the first thing on your mind. Like, how do you have this photo? I mean, again, we have like an idea, and that's how he's been involved in like everybody's life, right? He has been involved in everybody's life. Something you want to say? Yeah, I remembered. I've met you before, ain't that right? This photo, you took it, didn't you? So you remembered. It wasn't just once. We must have met a bunch of times. Before Alice's incident and after too, when you should have been dead. Strange things do happen. Back then you made a request to me. What kind of request? I can't remember that yet. But still, that part doesn't matter. You set Alice up, you bastard! You made up this shitty murder case and pinned it on the cross. Oh my god. Oh my frick, because remember she said like false accusations and stuff against 2 allegations. And here she's just saying it outright. She's saying he made up the allegations about the accusation. You get him. Well, I'm gonna say please come, even though she has a right to be angry, but I like right now this is what he wants. Midori wants this. Or sorry, Hiyori wants this. Please calm down. Don't stop her, Miss Sarah. I was thinking I'd call upon this. You'd call upon this? Again, this shows that he's so involved in our lives in such a demonic way. The stuff with Keiji is so manipulative and horrible. We saw the stuff already with him studying Shin as well. And then this stuff as well, like getting Alice like put into prison. It's almost like he was studying how they would react in that sense, right? Huh? What? 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 Something pierced the wall with a loud sound? What was that? I thought he punched Reiko for a second. I was like, what the hell? But he like, his hand is gone? A rocket punch, cool, isn't it? Like, he's mocking us. What if he got hit by something like that? Miss Reiko, you're saying that I fabricated my own death? Death? Because again, the name of the person they killed was So Hiyori, right? The music's so cool. So the idea that then they fabricate their own death to pin it on Alice. Because Alice said the person that they killed was So Hiyori. Well, then what am I? I mean, a doll because you're shooting your hand out. Right, and there's upgrades that can be given to Ranmaru. Midori took his hand out from the wall. Just so we're clear, Miss Reiko, I'm deeply angry. You and I didn't plan for such an incident. Oh my god. It made me lose my seat in the death game that... Wait, so he was planning to go into the death game and then he died? Are we guessing that they're like, you know, it's because he's a dummy? Right? If they're able to shoot their hand out like this, if they've already claiming that they died, like you're saying, I didn't fake my own death because I was even upset by this too. I'd hope to kill Alice for that by my own hand. Bastard. And also, you haven't properly remembered everything yet. That lantern will reveal the truth to you. The thing that gave Reiko a headache, by the way. Go try it out. Not just on Miss Reiko, but on everyone. Is this something Reiko wants? I couldn't get a word in. That's Hiyori, though. Hiyori has such a powerful, overwhelming presence sometimes that it's actually, like, very, very frustrating, like, talking to them, because, again, they have, like, this ultimate, like, control of the situation most times, because they are, like, in a lot of ways in control, right? Even at times where it feels like, we're getting some sort of advantage, like, Hiyori has a way of, like, making a whole situation for them, theirs. Even in this moment here, Reiko came in with the whole idea of getting answers. Reiko came in with aggression, you know what I mean? We had like something to pin on Hiyori. Hiyori turns it around and everyone else, and already Hiyori's left, and now we're sitting here with more questions once again. That's how, good at manipulation Hiyori is. Shit. Still, I definitely think Seaweed Head framed Stripey. Meow. There's something about that, right? There has to be something about that. But they're claiming, oh, well, I was upset by that too. I didn't want to die. Yeah, you're right. Alice was a weak person, nicer than anyone. This is such an important sentence. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thinking about it now, it all makes sense if it was all that guy's fault. It's such an important sentence because Reiko saying he was such a weak person. It sounds like an insult, right? And at first, if it was that on its own, it would be like an insult. But she's actually saying they were nicer than anybody. Right? It's showing that like their weakness was their niceness, not just that they're a weak person. It's the weakness also was their niceness, and the fact that they couldn't have the strength to do something like this in Reiko's view. I should have believed in my bro. And then there's this stuff as well. Oh my god. Like, what does this call upon as well now that like Alice is gone? Like, how does that feel? Because like from Reiko's perspective, that's the thing where it's like Alice died in front of her before she could even reconcile with Alice. And now there's this idea, well, afterwards, I wish I could have reconciled. I wish I could have believed in my bro. But instead, they were distant this whole time. That would be so painful, right? Reiko. Reiko's trying to accept Alice's crime. She tried to convince herself that it was Alice's fault. That must have been painful. Hey, Sarah-senpai, should we split up and let's search for clues right now? Sarah-senpai is brilliant. But yeah, like, when I talk about the Reiko thing, like, yeah, as I said there, like, can you imagine, like, trying to come to terms with the idea of, like, what your brother did, and then the best way to do it in your mind at the time to protect yourself was just saying he did it, right? And then when you meet again, you distance yourself from this person to not break that whole facade in your mind of, like, oh, this person, they did this, they must have done this, to make it easier for yourself. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, just because it's easier on you. The human mind works in so many crazy ways, and, like, we all, like, again, as you said, the brain will try in some ways to protect itself, right? It will block out stuff. It will connect some dots that aren't there in a way to like protect itself sometimes. And in this case, that's what I think what happened. It's like, it's easier to believe that Alice killed someone because then it's easier to try and move on and be like, okay, they killed someone. Now I got to try and get the steps to move forward. When in reality now it's coming like crashing down, where it's like, we don't know exactly what happened, but something happened that maybe they believe now that Alice didn't do something and she should have believed in him. But then how difficult is that then, knowing that in the last few moments that they had? And I'm not trying to pin this on Reiko and be like, you should have been like nicer to Alice and you should have accepted Alice, you should talk to Alice. That's not what this is about. I'm just saying what the emotions would feel like, what I would feel like in that moment, right? If I had a brother who like I thought killed someone, now I think they didn't, and I didn't talk to them, and I kind of like distanced myself from them, and now I come back to it and I'm like, man, like, I should have believed in him. You'd be thinking so much about those times when you chose not to talk to them, right? Where those final few moments you could have had together could have been so strong. But again, you can't think like that because, again, as I said, in this world, there's going to be so many times where you'll have like very valid arguments, or even it doesn't have to be valid, but like valid emotions that you might feel. And it's not your fault all the time for feeling those emotions. Reiko didn't want Alice to be someone that wasn't in her life. She was clearly like, the full belief that he killed someone was obviously based on the fact that there was no like evidence that he didn't. But at the same time too, there's probably a thing too where like she believed at first he couldn't have done this, but then it was like almost like a protection of the mind to believe that he could, so she could move on. Almost like this like acceptance. It's all very complicated and so difficult. It really is. We don't have many people. Let's do what we can. I'll always suggest this. It'd be best if you stuck together. Huh? You don't trust this out? No, that's not it at all. It's not that exactly. Like, look what's happened so many times now. People have been picked apart. People have been separated. Just be, you know what I mean? That's not a lack of trust. I hope you get what I'm saying. Like my it's not like this thing where I definitely do trust Hagasaka now with like Gin, for example. But like it's more of a situation for me where it's like if there's two people on their own, for example, there's way more of a chance of an obstructor that we don't know about picking them off. If we're all together, there's a way better chance of us defeating the obstructor, or at least getting away from the obstructor. You know what I mean? That's my view anyway. And now I'm by myself. We're on our own? I should look for a way downstairs to get downstairs too. That's interesting that people believe. But I guess people believe Sarah's very capable, right? So, and usually I would say what would happen in this situation would be if Gin didn't have this like, you know, new lovely, adorable kind of like cute obsession with Hayasaka, I think Gin would be here with us too. But I think it's more of a situation of like Keiji would be here too with us. You know, Joe would be here too with us, but you know, circumstances. Yeah. Let's go to... Let's try everywhere. Oh my god, look at that Gin. Adorable. It's dark, but I'm using my dark vision to search super thoroughly, meow. He's really darting around. Use the lantern? Should we do that? Again, we talk about your lost memories? Sounds like if you don't want to do it, we don't have to. Complicated subject. There's surely memories of ours that are erased. We have to get them back. How can remember they're erased, meow? Well, people's memories don't completely vanish. Got it. Your reaction was funny, so I'll work with you. Woof. Okay, if Gin's okay with it again, that's fine. Because it's one of those things where I don't know if it's a mechanic that we have to do, but it's definitely something that if Gin's okay with it, then I'm okay with it. He's asked that knowingly. Big Sarah, start from wherever. Midori said he used this lantern on everyone. Maybe this light stirs up forgotten memories. It seems to be what happened to Reiko in some ways, right? For sure. It projects things that we can no longer see. We just have to try. Oh, whoa. This memory's hazy for me. Was it an infirmary at school? Oh no, the infirmary? This music's great. It's like there's one side that's colorful and one side is not. It feels like it was fun or maybe scary. It's kind of hard to remember. Woof. I want to remember it properly and clear it up. Meow. Is there something wrong in Gin's memory? Is there like, oh, do you have to like spot the difference? By using this lantern, maybe I can bring view explanation. Okay. Touch the right screen to move the lantern's light. If you find a difference, point to the out on the left. So it is like spot the difference. Oh, like this. Oh, okay. So that seems normal, I guess. Anything on this? Oh, the permission slip. So here, point out, yeah, it's the permission. There's a permission slip. You know, all the memories on deck. Oh, is there? I think I might remember something important. That's definitely a permission slip. Oh my god, look at Sarah's face, and that's so crazy that like remembering stuff is even scary, right? Because of what we know, like the implications could be with like Hiyori being involved with our memories now. It was posted up there, that consent form, that is terrifying. The fact that it was there, like, in Gin's life as well, this little kid. The consent form? I know why I forgot, meow, but thinking back now is the same one, woof. Maybe but why? Calm down, take it slow. Right. So, do you have to look for all the differences? So we already clicked on this. Let's take a look everywhere else as well. Wait, this? No, that can't be. That's just like a different angle. Unless that is it? Is it? Because there's something different here. I was kind of curious about something. That's it, meow. I know it was. It's an unfamiliar pen holder, meow. Unfamiliar pen? I go to the infirmary all the time, so I know. Oh, you go to the infirmary all the time? A pen is usually an infirmary person doesn't use. It only shut up when that teacher was there. Or which teacher? I know, woof, that pen. You actually got a hidden... What? Wait, what? In the infirmary? What? Well, the hidden camera already is bad, but in the infirmary? Some special serviceman from another country was That is so weird. Who had a freaking hidden camera? Now I think about it, wasn't I being targeted for... You were, but like... That's so, like, here's the thing, right? I have no doubt that everyone was being spied upon. Like, everybody here was being spied upon. 100% RSR was spying on everybody. But think of the implications of a hidden camera inside of a school infirmary. A middle, isn't it middle school? Is it middle school? Or maybe, I don't know if it's primary school or whatever it is. But, or elementary. Regardless, it doesn't matter, but like an infirmary, right? If it was an adult infirmary, it'd be bad. Like if it was anywhere, it's bad to have a hidden camera. But I'm saying, like, this kid's infirmary? What sounds like a joke could be entirely true. That's the thing. That's so weird if that's actually the case. Oh wait, is the outfit different? Is that what we're saying here? Gin's outfit, how about this? Yeah. Man, I hope like Gin's joking. Well, no, we know they were being surveilled, so it's not out of the question. Do you remember this a little more? Of course, meow. I mean, when it's myself. Big sorry, Wolf, I lied, meow. Back then I was wearing the same outfit I am now. Why are you apologizing? Sure, it's uncommon to go to school in an outfit like that, but... I'm okay now. I used to not be able to go out if I wasn't wearing this. Okay, that's okay. We're not going against that. We're not, like looking down on you for that whatsoever. Will be I don't know if he wants to talk about it or if it's like, let's see, let's not be invasive right now. I see, well, nothing wrong with that. It's not weird, Wolf. Nah, you're good where it counts, Gin. Really? I'm cool? Of course you're cool. Jesus Christ. You say this time and time again, Gin. Yeah, okay, I think it was the right answer. Not that there's right or wrong answers, but for me it was the right answer, from my journey here. Because my heart just like soared when I saw Sarah being so nice again here as well about this stuff too. Because this is definitely like something that is not uncommon. It's uncommon in the sense that like not everyone does it, but like it is a thing where like sometimes I think it's a real world thing where like two things where like make believe stuff can make a kid feel like they are like more comfortable in the real world. Or also at the same time too, like a specific item or outfit can make them feel like they're protected from like the real world as well, or at least protected in the world as well. I'll try having him to save Big Sarah and everyone else now, meow. I never paid much mind before, but maybe that outfit, it could be very important to know again. I mean, we can ask if that's what their implications are here as well. It's just like one of those things where like that was such a lovely reaction from Gin as well, because I think here he was trying to describe himself as like just wearing kind of like an ordinary outfit because he was clearly self-conscious about wearing this outfit to school, right? But this is something that I believe is like actually very common in like not only in like kids especially, where it's like, I don't want to say it's common because it technically isn't common, but it is a thing that's known, right? Where kids will wear like, it's not just like an outfit. Sometimes it's like a hat. Sometimes it's like gloves. Sometimes it's like a specific jacket. They don't want to wear anything but that specific jacket. That is a very like normal thing. So maybe we do have to ask why if nothing else is different. Maybe because I can't see anything else that's different here. Oh, look at this. Is that freaking... Yeah, look at the hair is different. Is that Hiyori? Could you remember part a little more? Is that Hiyori they're gonna say? It wasn't now just a regular suit like grown-ups wear. But the doctor lady has a white gown, so it was weird how the teacher wore a suit. Maybe because he didn't work in the infirmary? Wait, can we not point to the hair then at least? Yeah. Because something definitely seems different here, right? Could you remember this part a little more? Leave it to me, let's see. Huh? Oh no, was it Hiyori? That doctor's face. There it is, yeah, it's Midori's face. I just noticed the hair there as well. Is that possible? It's like that's so... And again, I understand, like, it's always been invasive, by the way. It makes my skin crawl, right? Whether it be the stuff with Reiko or the stuff with Keiji, it's always invasive. This is a little kid. This is like an 11 or 12-year-old kid sitting in the infirmary, a place where they're supposed to feel safe and protected, and a place where they're supposed to feel like they're going to get better, or there's people who are there in the infirmary are looking out for them. This person who we know has bad intentions was in the infirmary at one point with Gin. Calm down, Gin. You can see, of course, that would make you feel so, like, icky. We talked about all sorts of stuff together, all fun stuff and some less fun stuff. I thought he was a good person for always hearing me out. Oh, man. Oh, man. But teacher, was that guy... Again, look at Gin's face. And this is how you would feel. It's, again, this one thing that you thought you do in life. You at one point, you thought it wasn't a bad thing. And now it's turning into something that's completely different. Right? That's completely, like, turned on its head. And again, as you said, invasive. Super weird. You know what I mean? Of course, as well. I don't know, man. It's so creepy to me. And especially for a little kid. Even though he listened to all this stuff, he kidnapped me, made me have to do this. Woof. And that's what's so scary. Again, like this world where he was supposed to be protected turned into this. That's so cruel. So cruel. Again, stay with me, just hang on. And again, it's so bad. It's so bad. All I could do was hug him until he stopped shaking, as he would do for us, the poor little kid. Big Sis Sarah, thanks, meow. Sorry, I shouldn't be digging up lost memories, should I? No, I want to know, meow. Maybe I was being tricked, but I want to know what's a lie and what's real. That's a very, very, like, good perspective, I feel like, to have. But it's obviously still going to be very, very difficult, so we have to be here for Gin as well. The person that he saw as, like, a confidant that he bore his soul to was actually someone who now he finds out is not only a detriment, but someone who was, like, an evil force in our life now, you know? They said, work with me, meow. Again. So, we still have to look for more stuff, so I wonder if it is a situation where it is we have to ask about the outfit. Because we saw that. We saw this. If we do have to ask about the outfit, that's okay too, but I just want Gin to know as well that everything's okay. Like, it's not a big deal. Obviously, it's a big deal in terms of, like, for him, right? But I'm saying in terms of, like us caring about him, it's fine. I think it is a situation where we have to look at the... Unless it's this. Awful Dodge First Aid Kit point out because it's not there in the jewel frame here. Could you remember this part a little more? Meow, you're right. It is really big for a first aid kit. Oh, I remember. Woof. It wasn't a first aid kit. I think it was a speaker. Oh, speaker. Teacher always said it would help me relax to play music while we talked. Which means you're discussing things that made him nervous. Oh, man. What's up with school and home and all sorts of stuff, meow? I wonder if the situation I'm looking at is Gin getting counseling. That possibly could be it. That could definitely be it. Which is common as well, right? Especially for kids, if the infrastructure is, and it's not in every school, I don't think, but it's if it is, you know, it's a good, yeah. No, it's nothing. But I don't know if he was aware that it was counseling fully, right? I think we do. I think the only other thing is the outfit. I think we have to talk about what the outfit means, and I think that we have this. Oh, this butterfly picture on the whiteboard. Yeah, it's a totally different picture. Could you remember this part a little more? Raja, it's a picture I drew. Huh? I never drew a picture of a butterfly. Wait, what? That was a picture of a butterfly the teacher brought, meow. It was really sucky drawing, like ink blots. So it was therapy. Gin was going through therapy right now. And ink stain feels like I've seen this kind of picture before. My pictures are way better. Of course they are. Of course they're way better. Basically, yeah, we should draw portraits of each other someday. Woof. Well, now I wonder. You don't want to, meow? No, not at all. I look forward to it. Of course we look forward to it. So yeah, it's very clear that he was getting therapy. I also love getting, like, you know, finding the good spirit and everything as well. Like, let's draw together. It's a very, you know, very childlike perspective, but I love that Sarah's also feeding into that as well to make him feel comfortable. Like, hey, yeah, let's do it. And obviously she would like to do that too, because I think, as you said before, while we can act like the playtime, like where we were playing make-believe before as well, and where we're drawing with Gin is just for Gin, it's also for us too. Sarah's a character, like, clearly gets, you know, when she was going through some of the hardest times, I imagine that, you know, playing make-believe with Gin was also very therapeutic for herself also, you know? And not just therapeutic, it doesn't have to be like this thing that helps you, like, on a therapeutic level. They care about each other, right? And they have time for each other. And that's why the relationship is so strong. It's very motivating and sisterly and big sister-like for Gin. And then for Sarah, it's also like something where it's like she has someone who she takes care of, someone she really cares about. And in a way, like, I know it sounds very practical, and I don't mean to make it sound like that, but like someone you can, like, pour your time into. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's like a big practical thing where it's like, oh, he's like a project. But you know what I'm saying, though? It's like She clearly cares and adores this kid, but it's also a thing where it's like, it's a lot of stuff to put your mind to as well, right? And it would take your mind off the stuff too, you know? I just hope he doesn't cry when he sees it. So, okay, so I keep thinking that we have to go back to the outfit. Do you think so? Possibly. Okay, I guess we should try the outfit again. It's not a problem now, but it used to be unable to go unless you're wearing it. Okay, no, it's not the outfit anymore. We did our answer on the outfits. There's something else. Unless that we have to back out ourselves, but I imagine there's probably like they'd probably let us know when we're done, right? So there's that there. There's nothing different about this person in the white, right? Unless we do have to remember them regardless, because I always just spot the difference, so maybe it's not only the differences, we have to spot something that's the same as well. Should we try and click on the lady? I mean, it couldn't hurt, right? It's not gonna kill us. I don't think it's much different though. Because remember this person a little more? Yeah, the doctor lady who always in the infirmary, meow. If I got hurt, she'd give me a bandage. If I was feeling bad, she'd let me lie down. But I heard rumors about she being pretty strict about faking sick. Which probably would be a common thing. You wouldn't do that, would you? Get look at the face she has as well. If only I'll only nap fair and square. I wouldn't hold it against you. You know what I mean? For sure. That's adorable. There must be something, unless there's like, because they're not letting us out of this, so. Maybe the actual. Oh, let's go. Not that's gonna be different. Because remember this a little more. That's a paper I'm writing to answer teachers' questions. It feels better when it's not like a test, and I can write what I want. What kind of things the teacher want Gin to answer? Can't really notice anything else. Yeah. Unless we should just click on some, maybe like stuff on like the laptop maybe or something. This laptop, how about this? Yeah, we might as well start clicking on stuff then, right? Could you remember this part a little more? That's the laptop teacher always brought. Apparently he write down things he wanted to ask and bring him with him. Were there any strange questions? He asked me what kind of girl I liked. He kind of invaded his privacy. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can't ask that. That sure is rude. Yeah, I bet he wouldn't like if I asked him a certain question, meow. I love that kid's perspective as well, but like, yeah, that's not something you should ask. Name plates on the table. Could you remember this part a little more? I think it's just nameplate for the infirmary that I like I remember. It's kind of cool. I want one. To play make-believe, I guess? Anyway, there's nothing suspicious here. Should we click on the hair? Why is he at school? To observe Gin. The bed. Again, I'm just trying to point to stuff now because I thought it was the differences, but it might just be a lot of stuff you click on as well. I think it's just the bed like I remember. I can't believe people sleep at Wolf. I would never sleep at school, meow. Big Sarah, you don't nod off at school, right? Of course. I mean, we did. Is now like one of the big things that happened to start that we kind of like, or was it sleeping or did something else happen? Again, I'm just pointing out stuff as well to see what else we can do here. Can you remember this part a little more? I think it was just a burnable waste can like I remember. Make sure to collect the trash every day so I never seen it too piled up. Nothing suspicious here. The text? Yeah, maybe? Could you remember this part a little more? I don't think there's anything important was written there. There's something along the lines of let's talk about something fun. Woof. Nothing unusual here. Are you sure it's not to do with Gin? Maybe we can click on different... Maybe what Gin was writing down, maybe? If I can get to it. No. I guess just look at the different... Is there anything different about the shelves, I guess? That's what we can do. Because remember this part a little more? There's a bunch of files, like stuff I remember. It's not like I really took a close look. I don't know. I guess that's true. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's like a yellow and black box there. Could you remember this a little more? I think it was just a stationary stuff like I remember. There's something suspicious? Seems not, but there's like a kind of different box here. I'm gonna keep pointing stuff out. Keep it disorganized, expecting, but sure they sure do. The only other thing is this picture, right? Could you remember this part a little more? That's the picture I drew. It's when I went to the beach with Mom and Dad. We picked up lots of pretty shells, meow. Aw. It must be a fun memory. I didn't like it when we went, but I'm glad we went now. Oh, okay. Do you like the beach? I actually really like the relaxation of the beach. Well, I mostly just splash in the shallows, but sure I like it. The beach is fun, even if you can't swim. You caught on. He was like, I understand what you're doing here as well. What do we have to look here with, I don't know what to look at then. Unless there's more stuff on the shelf, but... I'm actually kind of like a bit confused. If I have to like look it up, obviously I will, as I always say. But it's one of those things where I'd like to avoid it as much as possible just because you never know if you might get spoiled by stuff. I guess we can look at the cardboard boxes? Can you remember this part a little more? I think it was just cardboard boxes on top like I remember. I could reach them so it was a mystery what was inside. Nothing suspicious there. I don't... Am I just like... This desk? No. What is happening? Shoes? I have no idea. Wait, so, oh, I clicked on the wrong part? Because I thought we clicked on the whole shelf, but we actually have to click on the specific part. Okay. Couldn't think of it. I thought there was a black safe there. Yeah, there definitely was in the memory anyway. When you talk to me, he'd always take papers out and write on them. In a safe? He wouldn't show me what he wrote. I wonder what it was. He kept it hidden from you? I kind of like it because it was like being observed. An observation log? Surely not. So that's everything? I remember, Mel, everything. Oh no. My real memory was like this. And again, you get the full perspective and everything now in full color and everything too. And now the fake memory's gone to black and white. So yeah, what happened was I clicked on the shelf again, and like it was the thing I pointed out earlier, but I clicked in the wrong space. That's all it was. So the thing is, I don't really get all the details, but I have this sort of condition called autism. Okay. If I don't wear this, I feel really embarrassed and get nervous. I know it's not weird. Do not worry about it whatsoever. It's not weird whatsoever. It's okay. There's nothing weird about that. 100%. Do not worry about that whatsoever. Really, that's good. Meow. It's just like, it's just like, and I hope it doesn't sound like patronizing or anything like that as well, because I have relatives who have like autism, and I have audience members who have autism, so like you guys understand as well. It's not something that's like supposed to be ashamed of or something that's horrible or bad. The people who think it's shameful or horrible are usually like the ones who are like uneducated and quite dumb. It's just something that's different about you and something that like is unique to you, because it is a spectrum, right, of like so many different things. Yeah, it is. And I think like one of those things that like, you know, one of the things that kind of happened on the internet was that, and it still happens today, where people use it as like an insult, and it's like, you know, I think it's much funnier when you see people with autism, like, because I have a lot of people with autism in my audience will be like, you know, use it as like a joke for themselves, you know what I mean? And the thing is, it's like, it's completely normal. There's nothing to insult about it. It's not an insult. It's not anything like that as well. And for Gin here, obviously something that probably did make him feel self-conscious. You know, as a kid, you definitely know you're being separated from another group to be talk about this certain stuff as well. But there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. But he was the one who was all nice and told me I could get better. Could get better? I'll be able to get along with everyone, meow. Because the thing is, there's a really nasty way of talking about autism, which is like curing. People say cure autism or something like that as well. And you hear some people talking about that, and it's just not. You don't cure autism. You can make like some aspects of it more manageable and stuff like that too. But there's, it's part of you. And I think in Gin's perspective, what he's saying is obviously maybe he had like bad times doing social stuff, which again is a part of like some aspects of autism as well. And from his perspective, it's one of those things where he can't control that. He can't really, especially so young, can't really like put into perspective like why he's not being very social with these other kids, why he's not able to understand like why am I not able to understand this joke where everyone else understands it? Why is everyone laughing at this moment when I'm not laughing? Why are they saying this why did they say this about me when I feel like this part's like something that's just a part of me? I feel different, but I don't know why I'm different. All this stuff as well, it's like that thing where it's like, there's something different, but you're not quite sure. All that stuff that comes into it as well, right? I think that's the whole idea, right, of this as well, is like what he's feeling now is kind of like, oh, is there like some sort of like fix to allow me to get along with people better, when in reality there is like ways to like manage stuff like that, or there's ways to like become more social or have like a better understanding of your social group. But in a lot of ways it's one of those things where it takes, like, in my view, in my opinion, more of an understanding from the people across from you as well, which is what we want to aim for when it comes to like stuff with like that as well, where it's not just like, oh, like how do I manage my feelings and all this stuff too, which is obviously of course going to be important for a lot of stuff. It's also like, how can we teach people on the other side of it who are not autistic, or at least like don't have like the same type of autism, how can they kind of like understand the social situation that the person with autism is in. So in that case, it's like one of those things where like, if, instead of being like, how do we make you more like this other person so you can be more social, it's also like a thing where like making people aware that like, okay, Gin has autism. So the best way that I can interact with Gin is to understand that he doesn't mean what he says all the time. When I make a joke, he might understand it all the time. When I say something that sounds like very like flimsy, he might take it as literal, all this stuff too. So making people aware of those things so there is less frustration, and making people aware of it early as well. Because while like your kids, the kids aren't going to like understand all the time, they're not going to be like, wait, like I made a joke, why aren't you laughing? Or like, when I say, like, say for example, like, oh, can you run down to the shop or something like that, and they take it literally, a kid's not going to be like, oh, like, why are you taking me literally? They're probably going to get like a little bit frustrated. So making, especially kids, understand early. Sorry for going off a soapbox, but I think that's probably one of the best like things that you can do is to, raise awareness. Because even now in society, we still have people who like live day to day unaware of people around them, and they always like try to warp reality to their own perspective. So the issue is that when they encounter someone with autism that has maybe not great social cues, instead of like realizing, okay, this person, has like maybe is something with them that is like different to me. It's more of a thing where like it's met with frustration. And of course, like sometimes like people can be rude and you just shouldn't expect people to be rude to you. But like sometimes it's okay to understand like, okay, maybe this person, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sounds fun. There's lots of guys I don't like, but it's not like I don't want to play with them. Oh, again. That's the spirit, Gin. Oh, Medora. And again, this person that was giving him so much motivation as well. You'll get used to everyone little by little and you'll make more friends. I hated school myself, but I was quick to did you almost say kill to fight people so I didn't have friends? Oh, Gin, look at this artwork as well. A delinquent? I thought you were better than that, meow. And again, to me, it's like one of those things with Gin. We took a lot of the stuff as Gin, like being so forward with stuff as well, like, calling people muscle gorilla and becoming new nicknames like this stuff too. What, as a very childlike thing, but his like forwardness and like his even like all those things. Some of them can be stuff to be with children, but then obviously some stuff could be as well his autism as well, 100%. Man, Gin is so adorable. Look at this frame here as well. If anyone hurt him, I'd kill him. And again, it's so sad from his perspective. And again, I hope it doesn't seem like being patronizing, but it is like one of those things where like you do feel for Gin, because like from his perspective, it's like, how can I be friends with these people who I'm struggling to be friends with? How can I be like the other kids, and be in that social circle? I see other people like being happy and friendly with other people. Well, how come I can't do that all the time? I'm sure you'll grow up right, Gin. Your mother's delighted too. Really? She doesn't think I'm a weird kid who's too much. Oh my god. Oh, That's never would I ever, like, no. And I hope that's not the case. But from Gin's perspective, I wonder if they're like feeling that as well. Does my mother think I'm a burden? Does everyone think I'm weird? That hits the heart so hard right now. You know that feeling you get like when you're like, not when you're crying, but when you're like, you feel so much like a tinge of pain in your heart for someone. And the fact that like any kid would even feel this way for a second of like, am I a burden? Am I weird? Am I too much trouble? It's so painful to even hear that. She's also happy when she tells me about you. I'm gonna go quick and be a man. Mom can depend. Jesus, dude. Oh. That shot me right in the heart. Holy hell. I wonder, should I teach you the Asanaro? What the hell are you talking about, Asanaro vow? What's that? It goes against what I want to be today, Asanaro, tomorrow I will be. If you write your name in this paper, is that the consent form? I hear, oh no, is that the consent form? It's a magic paper. This is so disgusting. Not the Gin part, because again, I think it's like, you know, it's emotional, it's painful, it's so sweet where Gin's perspective is. But if this is the consent form, I swear to God. What do you wish for? For my mom to be healthy and to live a long life. You sure you don't want to wish for yourself? Like, that's so, like, they're wishing for them for their mother as well. Man. Look how bright and wonderful this kid is. To always be thinking of other people, even in the darkest of times for them as well. Because as I said, there's like, you know, it's autism isn't something to be afraid of. You know, it's not. But from the perspective of a kid who has autism, who's scared of like, why am I different? Why am I feeling this way? For him to also then turn around and still worry about what his mother feels, and which again, I want to make it clear, like it sounds like I'm saying that like, oh, like for a person with autism to worry about like that, people with autism have care and love and not like, of course, Jesus, but it's just so much like confusion and craziness going on where it's like, I don't understand everything in the world, I don't have many friends, but still they're looking out for their mother. And we saw that with us in this game too. Again, even with all the craziness that's happening, all the stuff that they're afraid of, they have so much time to care for Sarah as well. Holy hell. I'll be great on my own. Oh my God, Gin. Holy hell. I feel overloaded with like chills and emotion. Like my heart is pounding, but in a way that's kind of like, I'm overcome with like how absolutely sweet this little lad is. Like, Jesus Christ. But mom isn't there with me, then I won't be the show. Oh my. It hits me in the heart, like, to explain the physical feeling. Every time he opens his mouth and says something here, like, I literally feel like a warm feeling, like, come over me. Yes, I can feel my heart pounding, but it's not in a way that's kind of, like, bad. You know what I mean? I feel, like, overwhelmed, but just not in a sad way, not in a brutal way, but in a way that's kind of like, oh my God, this kid. Oh my freaking God, this kid. Like him saying that, yeah, I can become great on my own, but I need my mother. If I need my mother to get there with me, so he wants her to be there with him as well. Holy freaking hell! I curse on Asaro for ever even doing anything to this poor kid. He is a good kid. Leave him alone. Oh my God, my heart. I feel like I'm in like another universe with the way I'm feeling right now, guys. Like I'm getting like warm all over. Like I feel it's just warmth. I mean, I just love my Gin. What honestly, like this is the sweetest kid who ever freaking lived. Holy hell. And as he signed, it was the permission form, right? 100%. I wish I could like literally like grab all of your hands wherever you are and press it up against my chest right now to give you a feeling of what I'm feeling right now. It's so crazy, man, what games can do in these type of stories and what these characters, especially like Gin, who's such an amazing character, can do to you. It's, again, as I said, it's pounding, but it's not like a panic pounding. It's like this feeling of warmth and like amazing love that radiates off this character. It's incredible. Because it's one of those things where like I don't even like feel like crying, really. Even though this would be a scene that probably would like get me most days as well. There's like this like magic about it. Where I'm just literally just like, oh my God, this is like such an amazing kid. The fact that he can like, it's almost like set me into like a different universe where like, it's just warmth. It's just absolute warmth of a kid that like thinks of other people. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And the fact that like I get to feel this type of feeling from a character shows how good the freaking writing is, but also just how good of a kid Gin is. I'm going to now because of that with that awful yeah. If I make mom sad, there's no point. And look at even now, man. Holy freaking hell, even now. Is this going to make my mother sad? You're going through something so horrible, and even now, is this going to make my mother sad? Oh my God. I'm in a different universe. My body's been taken to a different universe. It's such a, like... And I think it is like a combination of my care for this kid. Right? I care so much about this kid. This was Gin's erased memory. We'll definitely make it. Oh my God. Like, by the way, this is an adorable sprite, but like, Jesus Christ, man. This kid injects more hope into this game than any other character. I wish I could grab all of your hands right now and put your, but like, I know like not in an invasive way, but like put your hand on my chest right now so you could feel exactly what I'm feeling. And you know what the thing is? You probably know. You played this game, or you've seen, if you're watching right now, if you haven't played the game, you probably feel the same thing too. Magic of this character, the best character, like I think in this game, in terms of hope and happiness, and also heartbreaking sadness too. But like even amongst this sadness of what happened to this kid, you see this warmth that this kid radiates. This game, if you take Gin out of this game gets 70% worse because you take an injection of hope and beauty that blossoms from like a perspective of like a kid who just wants everyone else to be happy. And has been through so much and still thinks about us and thinks about everyone else as well. And went through so much. Because again, as I said, like when it comes to like the autism stuff, deserve to have a happy life, will get a happy life. It's not something that is seen as a bad thing. It's something that is a part of you and just who you are, right? And if you're someone who's at home right now who like is watching this and you have autism as well, I'd say the same thing to you as well. It's like I'd always meet you halfway, right? Always. Not even halfway. If you need me to go 80% of the way, I will as well. Like you, like but you guys understand like that there is like confusion. There is like, why do I feel like this? And I've known stories as well about people in life who are like 50 years old now who get diagnosed with it's not diagnosed, it is diagnosed. Like, and I always don't want to say the proper terms, but get like an assessment that shows that they are like, and again, I don't want to say the wrong word, but shows that they are like autistic. And usually what happens is, even though they still have to deal with then all the other social implications, it's like a weight lifted off their shoulders. Because now they can understand why they're... that's what I'm saying. Imagine for a kid how that's so like... The world is confusing. Why is it that Gerald, Tony, Mark, the other kids in the class laugh at this joke and I just don't get it? No matter how much they explain it, I don't find it funny. Why is it when my time is up in the class and I'm trying my best to get all my books in my bag, why is it that the bell makes me feel such an anxiety even though it's the end of the day? You know what I mean? Why is it that I feel this way and all the other kids are happy to go out to recess, but me, I'm timing the minutes of... all these different things. It's like, why is it this? You know? Why is it that summer holidays make me feel more anxious? You know what I mean? Because it's a different routine. You know what I mean? All these different things. It's confusion. He's such a strong kid. He's such a strong kid. Now I'm in tears. now I'm feeling it. He's such a strong kid. Whew. Oh. Yeah, such a strong kid. Because Sarah and everyone else, we won't be sacrifice anybody. Right. We will defeat Midori no matter what. Yeah. I really feel like a lot of people who, when we look back in these memories, there's a lot to like. I don't need to make it out like it's like competition, but like maybe we should have done that last, just because again, Gin is probably like the character I care about the most, along with Kana maybe as well. But like what we're gonna find here when it comes to these memories is something that is either, like as we saw here, this was deeply uplifting in a lot of ways, but also deeply scary and frustrating. Because what happened here was, and let's make no mistake about it, and we have to call a spade and call it out, because I don't want to say it because it's horrible to even think to say this type of stuff. They took advantage of this little autistic kid's confusion and worry about the world, that they're upsetting their mother, that they're not able to be friends with other kids, and they use it as a way to get them to sign this permission slip. Evil people that should die. And I'll stand by that. I'll stand by it, guys. Over and over again. Oh my god. I feel like we should save Kana, because we do Kana and Gin first. Like, it's just gonna be the two most, like, devastating ones. Just again, like, factually so, just saying outright, they're the two characters I care about the most. Like, I can just say that right now. I'm not saying it's a competition of who I care about the most, but technically, if gun to my head, which characters you care about the most, you guys know what's Gin and Kana. You know what it is. Like, and then they showed this sprite, which is the most adorable thing in the world. This book is really something. She's reading intently. Use the lantern. Oh, should we talk to them for... Wait, can we talk to them as well? 1 second here. Can we go back and talk to Gin? I should probably talk to Gin first as well, guys. It's my bad. Let's talk to Gin as well, see if you'll talk. When you're searching on your own, be careful now. I'm okay. I'm searching in cat mode. Cat mode? Yeah, meow. If a cat senses danger, they can get away super nimbly, meow. I see. On the other hand, they're fickle, so they're not suited for searching, meow. That's a pretty big drawback. Because you should use it too when the time calls for it. Thank you so much, Gin. He just woofed. Yeah. We should talk as well. Talk to her first. What are you reading? The Shinsukumi AI test data we found earlier. Oh, wow. If you learn Midori and So's relationship, we might learn something about the past, I thought. Found anything of interest? There's an entry here titled Shin swept away by eternal wind, smile beaming. What? Hang on, that's like the title of a poem. That's exactly right. It's test data in the form of a poem. That's very strange. It'll take some time to decipher like this. She's right, the book is really something. That is, yeah, it's all over the place then. I guess we can use the lantern on Kana now as well. Kana, can we talk about your lost memories? My memories? Yeah, work with me to find the truth. We need to stand against Midori. I guess we do need to do that. But looking back, your memories might be a difficult task. You, my sister, exactly, yeah, it's going to be something that weighs heavily on this too, because it's something that's so fresh in terms of that wound of what happened to her sister. Something so fresh. But it's alright, Kana's gotten at least a little stronger than before. I believe in you. I 100% believe you have. And you're here with her, Sarah. Oh my god. Legitimately, that's so sweet as well. So sweet. Thanks, Kana. All right, then. Okay, go ahead. Sorry if you hear a dog barking. The dog doesn't mean it. You know what I mean? They're just going about their day as well. Trying their best. Legitimately, that's so sweet as well. The fact that she uses is always a bad word, but like she has Sarah in her life too to like make her feel kind of like more strong, I guess, in the face of all the stuff too. That she doesn't have to like, you know, do this all alone, I guess, is the answer we could have here as well. Like she has someone who is like an older sister who has cared for her, and also like even though she has like moments where she feels like she's not worthy of being friends with Sarah, and she had that too when she felt like she betrayed Sarah. To still have Sarah to look after her is a very, very powerful thing. The memory Kana's wondering about was at the ice cream shop she went to with her sister. Her sister often went there on the way home. She took Kana there for the first time. That's lovely. But something strange, you can't really be sure of what already happened. Is that already going to be Hiyori in the ice cream shop? Well, then let's give it a try. So let's see what the differences are here. Well, there's 2 bags here, so was she carrying Kana's bag or something? Let's check it out here. This has to be Hiyori then, right? Kana's sister's face. What? Oh, we pointed face? I was more thinking of the bag. Kana, could you remember your sister's face a little more? She's smiling kindly like always. I'm glad they eventually had a good relationship. Tell me, hurry up and pick. But really, she's just waiting impatiently. Patiently. I can finally remember it. Sister's smile. Sorry, Kana. It's fine. I mean, it's probably a good thing that she remembers maybe a good part of her sister rather than just like worrying about like if she failed her and whatever. Kana's sister, what about this? Point out. Could you remember this part a little more? Yes, it's my sister after all. I remember that day. Kana got so excited about picking out a cake, she had her sister carry her bag. Oh, that's so sweet. I know that feeling. It's just such a sweet image anyway to see Kana like, you know, looking through the cakes and her sister being beside her. Our happiness that night depended on that choice, so Kana absolutely couldn't choose wrong. Kana's sister watched her and waited patiently. What a good big sister. Me, I'd probably get engrossed in picking with her. You think you could, this could be a clue? Of course it is. Well done, Kana. Okay, I love when she's so happy and she blushes as well. But the thing is as well, like about it's like we have to find any differences, right, for sure. But I understand what Sarah's saying as well. For me, like I have a hard time. There's ice cream, or there's green ice cream. I am good at like patiently waiting for something, but at the same time too, right? I don't like waiting if there's like a designated time. Like I dislike so much like when I go, hey, let's meet up. Like if I organize the time and I'm like, hey, let's meet up at like 3, right? And someone is like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes late, I'm not gonna be frustrated. But like one of the most frustrating thing ever is when someone else does like, hey, let's meet up at 3, and I'm like, okay, 3 o'clock. You ready at 3? Yeah, well, let's meet up at 3. You go there at 3 o'clock, and then you have to wait there for like 20 minutes, and you're like, say 3:20, bro. Just say a different time. But like waiting for someone to pick out stuff, this is very sweet. Well, that's not something. I thought the ice cream would be something. Oh, the green ice cream? I mean, it's different. Could this, remember this part a little more? Okay, leave it to me. I think I had a nice mature level of sweetness and it filled your mouth with the green tea flavor. I remember. Kana's sister ate too much of it, so they ran out of the green tea ice cream. She was really fond of it. She had it all the time. Kana was more drawn to the sweet vanilla and chocolate flavors. But that day in particular, her big sister watched as Kana acted all mature to pick something out. That's really, really sweet as well. Because they didn't have her favorite flavor. Guess we solved at least one of the discrepancies. Alright, let's keep following these memories. I like that everyone's gone to a stage where they kind of like are more ready. Not everyone's probably gonna be like this, but they are more ready to kind of like interact with what these memories are. Like that. Okay, there we go. Look at this. That's probably the most important one, right? Look at Clark's face. How about this? Again, Hiyori was involved in so many of their memories. Could you remember this person a little more? Right, couldn't think of it. That clerk. He had the same face as Midori. What does that mean? Why was that man there? Has Kana met him before? And also, sister. How long has his sister been going to that shop? Again, it's so interesting because everyone's so ready to like remember these memories, but of course the thing that stops both Gin and Kana in their tracks for a bit is seeing that how invasive that feeling is. Oh, he was involved in our life more than we thought. He was a part of our life and more than we thought. You know what I mean? It's like this memory that's supposed to be just this memory I had where I was in the infirmary having like therapy, or this moment where I was supposed to be in this ice cream shop with my sister was actually way more invasive and horrible than I thought it could ever be. Maybe they really were preparing us for much longer than we thought. 100%. I see when Connor, calm down, Connor. You want to rest a little? No, I'm fine. Let me continue. And again, that's the thing with Connor. She wants to like take the brunt of this a lot more often. You know, she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to whatsoever. Like, I would always like her to be okay rather than anything else, you know? For sure. Man, it's tough as well. And it's so natural as well, right? That we have these things where, like, they're, as you said, so ready. Let's do this. And that moment where you find out he's, like, a part of this. What was it, a different time of day? All of a sudden, it's like, oh my god, this is creepy. This is horrible. You know? The scenery outside the window, how about this? It's so horrible. Could you remember this part a little more? Right, outside the window. Actually, I got a little wrong. We visited the shop in the evening. The ice cream we ate while walking home from school was so tasty, I bet. I was earlier than usual, so Sister decided to go into a different shop. I think they had cakes too. She must have been keeping quiet about it, I'm sure. Do you eat that much, Connor? Couldn't think of it. I wonder if us eating as we walked home is why sunsets make my tummy rumble. Interesting, like a psychological thing? Like when you associate with the sunset with food, which can happen, right? What's it called again? Yes, it was a thing where they set off like an alarm or something, and every time the alarm goes off or the sound goes off, the dog is given a treat. So then when you don't give the dog a treat, the dog will salivate because they kind of go, I want the food, right? I think that's what it is, right? So like if you, every time you went, like it's like, when we used to go to the beach with my family, there was a shop nearby that would sell rasher rolls, so bacon rolls. So it's baguette with ketchup, butter, and just bacon. So every time we walked past that place, whenever we went back there for holidays, it would be like this thing where it's like, you would feel hungry. You'd be like, oh my god, it triggers something in your brain. I wonder if it is that, you know, for sure. Right, the doggy that ends up drooling just from the ringing his meal. Yes, exactly that. That's so mean. No, we didn't mean it like that. It's just that's the thing that can happen with humans as well. We associate stuff, right? And I love Connor was like, oh yeah, I know that. Wait a second, you know? But it is a very normal thing, right? It's such a normal thing. We all do that, right? It's the same thing with like, you know, we see it at a certain time of day. We eat every day at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock makes us hungry. You know? That's just what happens. I only know about that, by the way, because of The Office. There's supposed to be an ice cream cone here. I know about that because of The Office. The light from the ceiling is hanging from the ceiling. How about this? Could you remember this part a little more? Yes, give me a moment. I've remembered. This is a big glowing ice cream. Isn't it really cute? Kana wants to have one at her house. I do think it's fancy, but to have it in a room? Kana always figured this was an ice cream shop, probably because she saw the light from the outside. In reality, it was a shop of her dreams, filled with so many more kinds of... So it wasn't just ice cream, it was so many sweets. Okay. She knew her sister often went there too. When she met up with me on the way home, she'd wait there with the ice cream in both hands. We would eat ice cream while chatting, and then... I love that kind of idea of a happy memory, right? Oh, something about to change, though. Again, it's, you know, it's so sad because these memories should be something that's very supportive or happy or beautiful, right? They should be. That's all right. I'm the one who decided to face up to it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's those things where it's like these should be great memories, but they're obviously remembering a lot of other horrible stuff as well that happened. Anything on the shelves that are different. There is the permission slip. Oh my god, the permission slip. Did they sign up for something here as well? That's so creepy how they made him sign up for all this stuff. Oh my god, could you remember this part a little more? Understood. You know, I feel like something was on the wall. Oh, and then her face again as well. Of course she'd be feeling this way. Why, but that's... What's wrong, Kana? That's strange. On the wall was that consent form. What's that mean? Another consent form the same way with Gin, but how did they get her to sign this one? I wonder if it's like... I don't know, like... Hey, sign up for this and get free stuff or something, you know what I mean? Kana saw that form there. And she feels like she asked that clerk about what it was. And then after that, I can't remember. What in the world is this? It's so scary, man. It's so scary. Something you've known your whole life, something that brought you so much joy is actually something that was something a bit, like, not bit underhanded, very underhanded. Something much darker about all of this together. Anything about the cash register doesn't seem to be. Wait, the ice creams are different? Is that it? These paper ice creams on the wall come off the wall. How about this? Point it out, yeah, sure. Could you remember this part a little more? Okay, let's see. Actually, I feel like there was a lot more writing. No, that's right. There were people's wishes. Wishes? Just like with Gin, it was like what he wished for, right? I think the customer in the shop would write them. Things like, I hope I won't put on weight, or I hope I won't get cavities. Such greed. Such greed? I mean, that's a self-conscious aspect of every life, you know what I mean? Like, and that's because society teaches us that having one sweet thing is going to send us overboard. There was like a period of time as well. I remember specifically when I was like a teenager as well. I'm sure it's still a thing now, but like every second thing was like scaring you into not eating any food. Sorry for anyone who has like anything that's a thing with food as well. Like I'll put like a thing over it maybe as well. But it's just that's what society was like. So like this thing of them being like, I hope I don't get cavities, I hope I don't gain weight. It's like something that like again is very societally put on people in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? It's like you can eat an ice cream, you're not gonna kill yourself. You can have that sausage sandwich. You know what I mean? It's totally fine. I feel like I got curious about it. And I talked with the clerk, but I don't remember what he said. I'm feeling kind of uneasy, as you would be. There it is. I remember what happened that day. My memory was like this. I went to the sweet shop with my sister, and there were many written wishes on the wall. Connor was looking through them, wondering if her sister put one up too. And among them was that form. Connor asked the clerk who her sister was familiar with. What you guys talk about? Oh, the different framing here. Do you know the Anasana vow? What? The heck's that? Oh, we're seeing Kugi. Oh my god. It was the paper on the wall, the one that's like consent form. It is like, it's so like predatory, right? The idea of like taking people who might want something to wish for safety, who were in a vulnerable place in their life. And again, make no mistake about it, Kana was in a place where she was grateful to have her sister after the years of like the pain that she went through and the separation from her sister and their sister not liking her, all this stuff too. She was so grateful to have her sister, and they're taking advantage of that concept. If you write your name, they'll say one of your wishes will come true, because it has to be about her sister. Oh my god, Kugi. Can I just say as well on the side note, stylish as hell hairstyle, Kugi. Stylish as hell. There's a lot of little cards too. Guessing you wrote, I wish to stop wetting the bed, Kugi. I already have. Don't say strange things out in public, oh poor Kana. Sorry, so can't think of anything, but the clerk gave her an idea. To grant this one talk, I knew it was gonna be something to do with Kugi. I knew it would be. To grant her wish instead, why do you look so upset? Sorry. Let's see, my wish. Maybe I wish for you to meet him, Kana. You're real. Oh, a real family? Oh, your fated partner. Oh, maybe she changed it though, I think. Because I think she was probably talking about her parent and was like, oh, maybe I'll meet the one you love, you know? Don't you want to meet your fated partner? This is, by the way, such beautiful artwork as well. It's so interesting seeing Kugi this late as well, you know? Fine. You worry about that first, sister. Look at Kana's eyes as well, by the way. Look at this. She looked up to her sister. Her sister was her life. Because the whole world is in Kana's eyes right now, and they are directed directly at her sister, Kugi. You can see the world in Kana's eyes, and the world is Kugi. There's no doubt about it. Well, look who's talking. You sure? Once I get married, we'll have to separate, you know. Fine by me. As long as someone shows who loves you as much as Kana does. Oh my god, she's such a beautiful soul. Looking back at that clerk, I feel like he was Midori. This was Kana's erased memory. Kana just wanted her sister to be happy. After all, she brought her lots of happiness. All I could do was gently hold her shoulders. Kana and her sisters were so thoughtful towards each other, and yet, it's truly just awful. Man, we're gonna save the episode here so we can go into the next parts too with like more of an energy, but like, I need it to be said here as well, like, this is taking advantage of some of the most beautiful and lovely souls that you could ever have, which is Kana and Gin. And I'm sure that there's similar things for everybody here as well. But Kana and Gin, right? Their stories for it. I want to make it clear, we're going to be talking to probably like maybe more characters who we're taking advantage of as well. They both had something similar about each other in the way that they wanted someone else to be happy. And they were thinking about other people before they thought about themselves, regardless of the stuff that they went through in life. And this to me is a really powerful idea because these characters that we know now, Kana and Gin, are characters who, like, when stuff was getting really tough, they were the ones who took it the hardest. Gin and Kana took it so, and now I would say as well. I want to say now as well, but then again, that's because, again, I think now is a similar spirit in a lot of ways to those characters. But I do think Kana and Gin were like some of the most vulnerable characters, and are two of the most vulnerable characters in this game because they're characters that like are the youngest, right? Of course. And that's not to say like Sarah isn't young. Sarah's still a kid as well. You know what I mean? It's like that thing as well. But like this idea of these two characters to take those emotions so hard, and it pains them so much, but they have so much like beautiful optimism, whether it be something that Gin has always had or something that Kana has grown to like have in this support for other people. And both of their lives had people in their lives that they saw as their whole world. Gin with his mother, Kana with her sister Kugi. And that's what's so brutal about all of this, is that the advantage that they took here over these two kids was the knowledge that they loved their family. And not only that, let's make it perfectly clear here. It's not just that. It was also the idea of Anasaru taking advantage of the fact that they knew Gin was self-conscious about their autism. Right? They knew this. And they used that idea to make sure that, because he knew he also was self-conscious about whether his mother saw him as a burden or not, where his mother was happy. This is a common thing that can happen when it comes to people who have a difference about them. Especially like a social difference that makes them a little bit different from like other kids sometimes. Now, different in terms of the social sense. I want to make it clear. You're just as valid, valuable, loved, and should be loved just as any other kid. I want to make that clear. But it's like in terms of the social aspect, right? They took advantage of knowing this, that they were self-conscious about their mother, knowing that Gin would want their mother to be happy. And so they made it so that they could give Gin this thing where it's like, you can wish for your mother to be happy, to sign this thing here. Gin was so confident that they were going to power through life. And I think that they, like, knowing Gin now, I agree. I agree that they would have not only been like, okay, they would have thrived. And they will thrive, you know? I say would have because, like, this is a very, you know, traumatic situation and we don't know how it's going to affect people, but I don't care when anyone says, you know, we're getting out of here, but also we're, regardless of trauma, they deserve a happy life after this and they will have a happy life after this. But they take advantage of the aspect that Gin definitely wanted to protect his mother and make it where his mother was happy to sign this piece of paper. With Kana, it was taking advantage of the idea that they knew for a fact that they cared about their sister so much. And for Kana's perspective, it's like this, right? It's not like this thing where like they believe in this thing or this wish or whatever and something like this too, but it is even like a gesture, right? Hey sis, I wrote this for you because I wanted you to be happy. You know, I wanted you to find the person that you liked, all this stuff. It's not like, oh, I want this magical thing to happen. It's a gesture, all right? And we all have been there as well. You know when like, you have to like write a card in school or something like that, where you have to make a card. You write someone you care about, right? You're like, you know, it's like, oh, especially when you're kids, like I have to write a card for my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister. And in this case, one of the things, Kana saw this. She's so, and make no mistake about it. After the bullying that the sister Kugi did for Kana, the relationship became so strong because Kugi realized she was wrong. Her self-consciousness like was taking over her, and she realized that was wrong. And then she became a better sister to Kana. So, what actually ended up happening was that Kana became, in my view, incredibly grateful to have Kugi, because it's one of those things when you feel lost in this world and you feel like you have nobody, and you feel like even the person that, like, you know, is now your new sister and your new family doesn't treat you well. There's a scariness to that. There's a sadness to that. There's a pain to that of acceptance, right? And when you then change that around, and now we have this thing with Kugi, where Kana is not only accepted by Kugi, but protected, but loved and cared about. It would be hard not for her to just... And we saw that with the look in her eyes. Kugi was her world. Kugi was everything to Kana, and they knew this, and then that's what made her sign that, because when she saw this thing, oh, I could wish for something for my sister, right? That small gesture. On the same day that Kugi sat there and waited until Kana picked her ice cream, that was an important thing for Kana, and they knew this. They knew this. And they took advantage of that. And as I said with Gin, they knew that Gin cared about his mother. They knew that Gin was self-conscious about their autism. And they took advantage of that fact. They took advantage of that fact completely. To get him to sign this paper. Because you saw even now, I want to make this clear, like, it's one of those things where, like, this is not, obviously, as I said, it's not something you see every day, but there are people out there, especially kids, who can't go outside without wearing their special raincoat, their hat, their mask, their ring, their necklace. They can't go anywhere without this stuff. And here's the thing, that stuff can stick out like a sore thumb to people, especially other kids. Why are you dressed like this? Why are you wearing this, right? But I always want to make it perfectly clear here, right? The value of who you are isn't always just the idea, and it never is the idea of how people judge you or look down on you or anything like this as well. We know the value of Gin, and we love his outfit. We love his style. We love his cuteness and the way that comes with that too. But we make no mistake about it, Gin was self-conscious about this, even now. How is Sarah going to perceive me like this? How is so in his memory, he's like, oh, I wasn't wearing this outfit because he didn't want Sarah to think like, oh, am I weird? Am I different? But Sarah had the right response. It's not weird. Don't pry into any further. It's not weird. Don't worry about it. It's cool. You know? It makes you. We love Gin wearing this kind of cat outfit. You know what I mean? With the kind of puppy paws. That's Gin. You know what I mean? That's who Gin is. That's, you know, and we don't... And here's the thing when it comes to anything in life, not just a kid with autism. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's like, I want to make clear, it's different if like there's someone in your life who like is like really rude and awful and they don't have any reason to be rude and awful. Then it's like, you know, F that. But I'm talking about like in these situations when someone like has a difference or something is different about them. You take every facet of them and like, that's what I would love about them. You know what I mean? And for me with Gin, it's like this situation where like, does he do like some really quirky stuff? Yeah. Does he go around sniffing stuff? Yes. Does he go around saying woof and meow after stuff? Yes. Right? But every aspect of Gin is what I adore. Not just the aspects that are easy to understand about a person. And I always say the same thing when it comes to stuff like the way people perceive depression or anxiety or anything like this as well. People love feeling like they would accept somebody when it's easier, quote unquote, right? I would accept anyone with autism because I'm a good person. You know what I mean? But what they really mean is I accept anyone who is, in their mind, like the stereotype of like Sheldon Cooper, right? Where it's like, oh, I accept him. You know what I mean? I would accept that as Sheldon Cooper as a friend. But not everything in life is the same. Everyone is different. Everyone has so many differences. And I always say the same thing. I know I want to make clear it's not the same thing when I'm using as an example. It's the same thing when people go like, I would accept anyone with depression. I would accept anybody. Anybody whatsoever. Because I know it's a different thing, by the way. You're talking about like a mental condition that like literally can be, you know, quote unquote, like cured over time in terms of like making it much easier. When it comes to autism, it's like, it's who you are, right? And again, I don't want to make it seem like depression and autism are the same thing, like, oh, they're both like this, you know what I mean? You guys get what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say it's the same thing, but I'm saying that, like, you can't just be like, oh, I support one thing and I want to be there for someone for one thing, but not support the other thing that still makes them them. I'm sorry for comparing depression to autism as well, because that's not very nice, because that makes it, I didn't mean to make it sound like it's like they're the same thing, because one is something that like you don't want to be a part of you. The other thing is something that why a lot of people with autism, I want to make it clear, a lot of people with autism will say like, I don't want to feel this way all the time, but it's not something that I think can be cured, if you get what I'm saying. And I wouldn't want to aim to cure anybody and say that word, right? It's something that's just who you are. I hope it doesn't make it sound like that. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm taking Gin for who he is, you know? Not just, oh, he's adorable, he's cute. He also wears this, like, tiger outfit. He also wears these paws. He says meow. He sniffs people. He does all these different things. That's our Gin. You know what I mean? That's our buddy. You take all those aspects. That's who they are as an individual. I would never make them feel bad for who they are. Over time, will it become a thing where they move on to a new thing? Yeah, maybe. Will they have a new thing that they want to wear in the future? Yeah, of course. But that doesn't change the fact that, like, that is something we would like. That's who Gin is. And when I say this as well, the reason I'm saying all this is because Gin gets self-conscious about this. Just like, and again, as I said, and I hope like anyone on autism like speaks up as well about in the comment section about this too, and corrects me if there's anything that you feel like I'm being a bit like too presumptuous about. But there is a thing where it's like they're aware of like the stuff that they do sometimes, but not always. And sometimes it's just something that makes them feel better. Sometimes it's something that they can't do. Sometimes someone with autism might not be able to, like, you know, like, that's what I'm saying. You walk into a house and someone's house is a bit dirty or has clothes all over the floor. And you go, Janine has clothes all over the floor. It's like, well, that's part of Janine too. They find it a little bit more difficult sometimes to get their mind to the idea of like, I have to do this, you know, and I have to do that. You know what I mean? I have to do this. I have to make sure this is ready. You know what I mean? I know that I'm probably going to like different things as well. Cause like, I know there's like, you know, different, it's a spectrum, right? There's a whole different thing like as well, you know? And yeah. So I don't want to like, you know, get something wrong. So I'm sorry if I do get something wrong there. I'm not trying to ever like, you know, be disrespectful, as you guys know that, but I just want to make it clear that like the reason why Gin, this worked on Gin so much is because there is a self-consciousness that his mother might perceive him as a burden. And that's a horrible thing. But I hope that his mother is like us and like we feel as well. Where like I accept him for who he is. And if anyone ever said anything otherwise, they would die. I would make sure of it. I'm in Minecraft, YouTube, in Minecraft. Or I'd like hire a bigger kid to beat up the other kid. You know what I mean? And that's what they took advantage of here. Gin's story is so beautiful because Gin is like truly figuring out who they themselves were, but then obviously at the same time too, they're willing so much to help their mother and to support their mother, and they're like, I'll power through life and get through it, and I'll support. I want my wish to go to my mother. Same with Kana. I don't mind who I find as long as you find someone you like. This care that they have for their people, and the reason why it's so horrible, as I said, is because it is invasive. It's something that like their life at one point was this lovely memory that they had. Gin had this lovely memory of talking to this doctor in the infirmary where it's like, oh, this is actually helping me. And there's no doubt it probably did help understand who they were. Because as I said, there's people with autism who get to a certain age and then they feel a relief because they finally have this like knowledge that they are autistic. Gin, on the other hand, is one of those things, right? We got to find out when he was like a little bit younger. It probably is a weight off your shoulders because it's an understanding of why. Right? And I'm sure that those conversations with Hiyori helped like crazy. But that doesn't change the fact that all of this like is very invasive. It's very troubling. It's very like, when you look back at it now, it would change your perspective on a lot of those situations as well. And to get him to sign this, it's also like really, really horrible. It takes advantage of the situation. The same thing with Kana, take advantage of the sister's love. Like it is like this passion that they had or a lack of understanding that they had that was used to make them sign this thing. It's very, 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 horrible. But I think it's also, like as I said, the reason why I want to say I find beauty in these situations is because it shows how like who they were before we met them. And again, I don't think it's beautiful because obviously like this messes your head up knowing that Hiyori was there this whole time, because that's where we predicted this, because the game gives you the breadcrumbs. You know, we followed it and we found the gingerbread house, and it's true, the Hiyori was involved in much more than we thought. But it is 100% a situation where Hiyori was involved in people's lives more often than we thought. 100% as we predicted. But I'm saying the beautiful aspects of it are showing off like Gin's character and Kana's character. And it makes it obviously more sad as well because Kana is like someone who cares about her sister so much, and now being without her sister must be painful. But it's also on this aspect too of the whole thing of caring about her sister. Yes, she does care about her sister, right? And that's such a beautiful thing. But it's also the fact that as well, she handled that better than she would have handled it back in chapter 1. Gin handled that better than he might have handled that in chapter 1. And I'm gonna say to him blue in the face. We're not thanking this game for what they did to these characters. We're not sitting here and going like, oh my God, you made them stronger. They were forced to get stronger. They were forced because, like, again, they should have been able to get stronger on their own terms. Not the death of a freaking sister or the trapping of a freaking 12-year-old kid in a death game. This is not what makes you stronger. They became stronger despite this. But they're showing here that Kana was able to handle the mention of her sister way better than she was in chapter 1 at the start of chapter 2 as well. Gin was able to handle thinking about his memories and the scariness of the situation better than he was in the first time. But you know what the truth is? They shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to handle this. They shouldn't have to even think about this. But that's the freaking problem. They do think about this. And they have to think about this and they have to overcome this. But they shouldn't have to. These are children. And this game, the people who organized this game, Hiyori, all these people, sick, twisted, horrible individuals. Absolutely sick and twisted and horrible. I hope my thoughts came across here well, because this is obviously a different subject. I might put like a little thing at parts in the video as well. Sorry if I forget to. But I think at this point, like, putting warnings before your turn to die, I hope no one sees it as me being like redundant about it, because I do put warnings at the start of videos, but the reason I don't put them as your turn to die is because at this stage it's one of those situations where, like, I feel like if you're locked in on episode like 33, and I hope it doesn't sound dismissive, but I think you guys would agree, like, it's the same. It's like if you're locked in on episode 33, in some cases you might be aware of what's happening. I will put warnings in the video sometimes as well, like say like the stuff that happened with Sato, with Kai, with Kai, put warnings there as well, or put warnings and stuff when I talked about the idea of, like, imagery and stuff like that when it comes to like eating and stuff like that. 100%, I'll put warnings there 100%, but I hope you don't mind that I don't put the warnings at the start of the video, because it's like, I feel like a lot of people who are locked in know that this game is kind of like devastating. But again, if you think I should definitely put them, because I always do, but I feel like I'll put them individually inside the videos as well, just so people who want to watch the whole video don't have to skip the entire video, if that makes sense. But guys, if you want to see these videos early, you can do so on YouTube members or on Patreon for €1 or whatever is in your currency. That's the lowest tier, and you get to see all the Return to Die videos early. Whether it be like 2 days, 3 days, sometimes 4 days, you get to see those early. If you want to see your name go across in the text credits that's going by right now, that's €10 as well. And if you want to hear your name be read out at the end of every single video as a shout out, that is €15. And that's the highest tier that you can go on the Patreon and YouTube members. I want to say thank you to the patrons at the highest tier first, that being Typharo2, Jamie Bull, Jonathan Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yuld, Anusta, Yassassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasperian, Neo Showerite, Leah 200, Malcolm Hyundai, Axler21, and at the highest tier of my YouTube members, Blasco and Lusanagi. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.